What's going on, fam? It's your boy Anthony Oneal, and I'm gonna get straight to it because today I want to expose something that could take you from making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to making about $85,000 in less than 20 weeks. Yes, let's get straight to it. And I want you to honestly ask yourself: are you willing to dedicate yourself for the next 20 weeks to change your financial future? Because here's what I've learned when I was doing some studying for this particular show, that 99% of people have no idea that this opportunity even exists. And you all know I keep it 100% on this show. I've been broke. I've made every financial mistake in the book, but I refuse. I'm gonna say this again. I refuse to watch our community, you, stay stuck while there's a career path that is exploding right in front of us. That if I was in the career field space, that if I was in the job space, I would be going right here instantly. Because here's what got me fired all the way up. While everyone's scared about AI taking jobs, and there's one career that's becoming more and more valuable because of AI. So how do we start partnering with AI rather than getting scared of AI? And before you say, Anthony, I don't do tech, stop. Okay, be quiet. Listen to me. Dial in with your little brother, dial in with your big brother. Because this is exactly why this show is perfect for you. They say by 2054, they're projecting that Black families, people of color, will have 0 to negative net worth. 0 to negative net worth. I was at an event a couple of years ago with Bishop T.D. Jason. The reason why this may be possible is because African Americans, Black people, we are always we tend to be some of the last people to get access to things, specifically access to information. I remember I was talking to my grandmother one day and she said, man, I was so scared of the microwave because my mother's mother, her grandmother said that microwave would give you cancer. So we kept it away because we didn't want to have cancer. I remember when the cell phones came out. Oh my God, don't get cell phones because you put the phone to your ear, that's cancer. It's like we always come up with these things like, oh, no. And we're always, once the world gets access to it, once other people, you know what I'm trying to say, once they get access to it and we see that they're okay and they're making a lot of money, then we want to come and follow. So if we're going to have 0 to negative net worth, it is going to be because we didn't take advantage of the information today. And that's not you. Because I found something that can change the trajectory in 20 weeks. Your trajectory in 20 weeks. Not years, not decades, 20 weeks. You see, last month, one of my good friends, Keisha, she messaged me and she sent me a text message. She said, Anthony, I was making $28,000 a year in retail, living with her mother at 29, and she couldn't pay her bills. She heard about this program, and 6 months later, she got hired as a QA engineer, making $78,000 a year, working from home, and she purchased her first home. I'm gonna say this again. She's 29 years old. She was making $28,000 a year in retail, living with her mother. Pause. I don't have a problem with a 20-something-year-old living at home. I really don't. Because Keisha was specifically making this money in retail and she was living at home trying to save up to get a better job and to eventually move into a home, but she needed more income. Well, she's been following me for a while and she's been saving, she's been paying off her debt. She's been, investing a little bit here and there when she can. But, I told her, I was like, hey, baby girl, you got to get some more income. We need to have a financial explosion. And she listened to me. That's why I'm about to expose, AKA this younger generation will say, put you on game about software QA engineering. And let's talk about that. Here's what no one's really telling you when it comes to software QA engineering. You don't need to code anything. Let me say that up front and again. There is absolutely no coding. Number two, let me say this up front. You don't need a tech degree at all. You don't need to go to a particular trade school and go there for 2-3 years. No. You don't even need to be a computer genius. Hold up. Let me say this. You don't even need a college degree. Let's go even deeper. In today's day and time, you don't even need a high school diploma. You don't even have to be 21 years old. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? You don't have to be this brilliant, successful, smart, intellectual individual. While the majority of you all are smart, intellectual, right? But if you were to get into this QA situation, here's what you can do. You can work remotely from anywhere. Keisha was telling me just last week of how she went on vacation with her boyfriend and she was able to work from the hotel room for 3 hours while they were on vacation. I forgot where she went. It was somewhere local, at a local beach. I forgot exactly what beach it was. It wasn't out of the country, but she went to a local beach. They was on a week-long vacation. She worked Monday through Thursday, 3 hours, put in her work, got her job done early in the morning. By the time her boyfriend woke up, they was able to go out there and have a good time. You can work from anywhere. Next, she's on track to start making 6 figures within her first year. She started out right around $78,000, $80,000. But if she keeps this up, keeps building her resume and keeps doing the job correctly, she said, man, Anthony, within the first 12 months, so not by the end of this particular year, but within the first 12 months, she said, I should be tracking right around $90,000, $95,000 plus commission. I'll be over $100,000 at the age of 30 years old. Here's what I also love about this. She's talking about, marrying this young man who she's with. And I love it because they're very big. This younger generation is very big on this work-life balance. Like, have a life, but still making income. And with this particular job, you can have a work-life balance. You're going to have to show up and do the job and work, but you ain't got to work like a Hebrew slave to make $100,000 a year. You can put in a good 5-6 hours a day. My team, I paid them for 8 hours a day, but I know these jokers ain't working no 8 hours a day. I don't want them to work 8 hours a day. Just get the job done. Right? We are in a season of like, man, I want them to be good fathers, good mothers. I want them to be amazing husbands and amazing wives. I want them to contribute to society, but I also want them to get the job done. So as the CEO of this company, man, I want them to have a work-life balance. And if your job is not allowing you to have a work-life balance, but they're only paying you $45,000, $50,000 a year, you need to get a new job. And here's what this also allows you to do. Change your family's financial DNA. If you can go from making $40,000 to $80,000, $40,000 to $75,000, heck, $40,000 to $70,000, within 20 weeks, and then once you get the job, within 12 months, you go from $70,000 to $100,000, $110,000. Tell me, what's your ROI on that? Forbes, I was doing some research and I found this article in Forbes. It says that Forbes rated QA engineers as the happiest professionals in tech. Why? Tech money without tech stress. You're going to get tech money without coding. You're going to get tech money without solving major problems. You're going to get tech money with no tech stress. But Anthony, wait. Won't AI take these tech jobs? Whoa, Anthony. AI is coming for everybody's job. Let me be real with you, man. AI is coming for people's jobs. Just 2 weeks ago, I told my team, I was like, hey, man, AI is coming for your job. I need you to show me how are you going to partner with AI? Because if AI is going to do everything that you are doing for me right now, I don't need to pay you your salary a year when I can pay that, $2,000 a year. I was reading this email that Fiverr CEO sent out to all of his staff where he was saying, hey, y'all, you have two options. You can allow AI to take your job, or you can partner with AI to make you do your job even better. Better, faster, more proficient. But if you allow AI to do 100% of your job, you will not have a job within the next 90 days. And I told the same thing to my team. I said, we got two options. We can partner with AI and we can do better. Or we can allow AI to do your job and you just won't have a job. Because here's the truth. AI is not really taking jobs. AI is only taking jobs of individuals who are lazy and who do not want to partner with it and get the job done. So when it comes to the QA field, it's making them more valuable. Think about it. As AI creates more software, who's going to test it? QA professionals. I'll say it one more time. QA professionals, they test products. They test websites. They make sure things are working the way they should be working. So as AI creates more software, as AI creates more websites, we need a human being to test it and to make sure that it works properly and efficiently, and that is a QA profession. You see, the Bureau of Labor Statistics projects a 25% growth by 2032. So within the next 7 years, we will see 25% growth in the QA field. So the program I'm partnering with doesn't just teach QA. It teaches you how to use the AI tools to become unstoppable, to become unreplaceable. So you all know, man, listen, I'm tell y'all something. I don't mess around with my endorsements. Let's be real. You all have seen less guests come on my show. Because as I'm evolving and as I'm growing, I'm learning that, man, all money ain't good money. I've never had one guest pay me to be on my show. I've even stopped really doing affiliates on my show because it's like, man, some of the stuff that I've allowed to be promoted on my show just wasn't as good as what they should have been. I've turned down, I want to say over the last 4 or 5 years, I would say a cool $1 million from particular brands because they were not a good fit for me. They weren't a good fit for what we're trying to do. We're trying to eradicate $1 billion in debt by 2054. We're trying to build $500 million in wealth within the Black community. So any brands that I partner with need to point towards that. And that is why I've partnered with Careers, who was the sponsor of today's show, because they're just different. You see, Careers has been named the best online boot camp. Over 1,300 graduates in 42 different states. These graduates are working for companies like Google, Apple, Amazon, Meta, aka Facebook, Nike, Fortune 500 companies that we are all investing in And these companies are paying them real money. But here's what sold me. Most boot camps say, good luck after graduation. Okay, you paid us our $400, $500, $5,000. Good luck. You got the certificate. Go get a job. But careerists, they stick with you until you get hired. Not just graduated, not just completed the 20 weeks of education. No. They're going to walk with you until you get hired. They're going to show you how to create a LinkedIn profile. They're going to show you how to do the right resume and change the resume per each particular company to fit their particular QA needs. They're going to walk you through the entire system until you get a job. Mike, he's not a friend. I don't want to sit here and lie. But Mike, who's one of our listeners, Mike was working 90 hours a week in sales. Guess how much he was making? $63,000 a year. Y'all, 40-hour work week is 8 hours a week. This dude was sometimes putting in close to 20 hours a day. Probably exaggerating that, about 16 to 18 hours a day to make $63,000 a year. Hold on, let's do the math here. Hold on, wait. 63,000 divided into 12 gross is $5,250 a month. Divide that into 4. He was working 90 hours a week to only make $1,300 a week gross, which means that he was probably only seeing about $850 to $900 of that net in his. Y'all, he was stressed. He never saw his family. He didn't go to church. He didn't have a life outside of making $800 a week. What kind of life is that? But now, he works as a QA engineer, making almost $100,000 a year. To be exact, $98,000 is his salary. But he said he does get a little bit of commission that puts him over $100,000. But to be honest and transparent, he makes $98,000 a year. Watch this. He works from home. You see, one thing in the tech world that I'm still learning is because my team is like, wait a minute, we need this. And I've somewhat given this to them, but there are some caveats. There are some things we got to watch for. But not only is he working from home, but he has unlimited paid time off. But I think the coolest thing when talking to him and making sure that I'm representing his story correctly is that Mike is actually working from home, picking his kids up from school. Unfortunately, him and his kids' mother are not together. She drops him off in the morning, and he picks them up in the afternoon. See, what I love about this, and this is something that it has nothing to do with the show, but it has everything to do with the show because this is all about work-life balance. I think oftentimes when men specifically make money, we think because we send our kids presents, money, that we're fathering. But the best thing you could do for your kids is not send them presents, but to be present. And the fact that his kids get to see him, the fact that kids that when he pulls into the school and the teachers lets them go and they run to the car, it's their father. That their father is active in their life just as much as their mother. That's not just a career change. That is a life change. That's not just a life change. That's a legacy change. It's not just a legacy change, but it's a heart change too. Because now his kids' hearts change to where we see this oftentimes, to where the kids tend to navigate and to pull closer to the parent that is watching them and living with them and most active with them. While yes, the kids live with their mother, he picks them up, brings them to the house, do work with them, and then takes them home. Which I want to commend the mother, Mike. I don't. If you're married to, if you have the kid with Mike, man, I want to commend you, mother, for allowing him to even do that. Because there's some mothers who just won't. I'm not saying this is all. I'm saying there's some. There are some mothers who, and man, I'm getting off subject here, but I gotta say it. Mom, stop saying that's my child. No, that's y'all's child. That's y'all's child. Let me get off that. I don't want to live in that too long. We talking about we talking about QA. I'm not in that situation. But sometimes I just be feeling for my brothers. But don't get it twisted. We have some brothers that out there who need to step up. I'm talking about the good ones. But I want to show you the math. I want to show you the math that should wake you up. Say at $35,000 for 20 years, that equals $700,000 in total earnings. I'm gonna make sure that Ed puts this on the screen so you can see this, all right? So if you stay at $35,000 for 20 years, say it one more time so it's super clear. If you stay at $35,000 a year for 20 years, you've made $700,000 in those 20 years. But now, Ed put it below the screen here. If you become a QA engineer, and let's just say you're starting off pay is at $85,000, right? Let's say you're making $85,000 for 20 years. Over those 20 years, you've made $1.7 million. Leave it up on the screen, Ed. Let's do the math. That's $1 million difference for 20 weeks of effort. Say this one more time. You've made an extra $1 million for 20 weeks. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Let's put it in math. You've made an extra $1 million for 5 months of work. Show me another investment with those kind of returns. Show me. Anthony, I hear you. I hear you. That's $1 million, but Anthony, I'm not good with computers. If you use a smartphone, you have the skills to start. Anthony, I hear you. That's an extra $1 million, but I don't have time. I don't have time. 15 to 20 hours per week while keeping your current job. You trying to tell me that's not worth $1 million? Anthony, I hear you, but I'm 55 years old, son. I don't want to change my job. I'm too old. You're too old to make an extra $1 million? I've seen people in their 50s succeed. In my personal opinion, age is an advantage because age makes me wiser. I laugh when I see these young guns, 20 years old, out here doing certain things. I'm like, man, I got the advantage over you because I have wisdom. So I'm not going to do that because I know what that leads to. You trying to tell me that if I could just dedicate and lock in for 5 months, you trying to tell me if I could be uncomfortable for 5 months, I can make an extra $1 million over 20 years? What? You see, you've heard me say this before. Some of y'all probably have not heard me say this before, but a lot of us have allowed our comfort zone to become our kill zone. Ooh, what do you mean by that, AO? We've allowed being comfortable, not working hard, not being uncomfortable to kill our very dreams and goals and ambitions. Because we would rather be comfortable working like a Hebrew slave at our current job that has current benefits rather than adding on 15 hours to study. So that way I can go from working 2 jobs to 1 job, to where I can go from showing up to work to showing up to work at home. Imagine this. We're shooting this in June. I think it's coming out sometime in June or July, right? No, this is coming out actually in June. Imagine this. By the end of next year, you complete the 5 months. You get the certificate. Careers helps you get a job in the QA field. This time next year, you're working from home. You're making twice your current salary. You have time with your family. You can go to the soccer games, basketball games, football games. You can go to the gym and start working out. You could do family vacations. You could be the person who broke the financial cycle in your family, and not just broke the financial cycle in your family, but you broke the not present cycle in your family. That's not a fantasy. That is actually what happens when you bet on yourself. One of the things I swore to myself when I started my business, that anybody who comes and work for me, this job, our career, will never get in the way of them parenting or being a spouse. Ed, who's our new show editor and shooter, has a sharp son. And one of the very first questions when I ask him, hey, if I want to make a change or pivot, like, hey, does that impact you from picking up your son? Because I want him to pick up his son. I don't want to give his son's mother any room to say anything negative about him. Oh, you can't. No, bro. We can pivot on this end. I need you to be a father. Anytime we have an event, hey man, bring your young lady. I want him to be a great man to his lady. I want him to show to be present in his family's life. And that's the same thing with all of my people. And y'all, you all have the opportunity to experience the same thing because the training is ready. All that's missing is your decision. Don't let fear rob you of your future. Don't look back in 5 years wishing you had acted. So I need you to go to anthonyoneal.com/QA right now, because your financial freedom is waiting. I'm gonna say this one more time. Stop waiting. Start winning. Change your future. Am I saying these next 20 weeks are going to be easy for you? No. But anything worth having is worth going through. So go to anthonyoneal.com/QA today and tell Careers that I sent you. Yo, listen, I love you all. God bless you. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to do it. I promise you, you'll love it. If you are less than 45, making less than $75,000, $80,000, this is for you. Check it out. What's going to hurt you? Peace out.